Fake cops posing as HOA officers just arrested Clint Eastwood's wife, and what happened next will shatter everything you thought was real. Before you keep watching, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell, because this story is packed with twists that'll keep you glued to your screen. Maggie Eastwood was just leaving a quiet neighborhood meeting when suddenly, men dressed in police uniforms stopped her. They claimed she had violated HOA rules, but something felt off. These weren't real cops, they were imposters with a dangerous mission. Maggie tried to explain, but before she could react, they grabbed her and pushed her into an unmarked van. Panic surged as she realized this wasn't a random act. It was a targeted attack. What no one knew was Maggie wasn't just Clint's wife. She was the leader of a covert CIA team specializing in high-risk operations. The fake arrest was a trap to lure her out of hiding, but Maggie was no ordinary target. Her CIA team was already mobilizing, ready to storm the scene and rescue her at any cost. This wasn't just a crime. It was a message to Clint and everyone who dared cross powerful enemies lurking in the shadows. What would you do if someone close to you was taken by strangers pretending to be law enforcers? Could you fight back against forces you can't see? As Maggie sat handcuffed in the back of that cold van, her mind raced. She knew her fake arrest wasn't random. It was a message from a hidden enemy who wanted to shake Clint Eastwood's world. Meanwhile, across town, her CIA team was already in motion. Using encrypted channels, they traced the van's location, preparing a daring rescue mission. Clint, furious and desperate, waited anxiously, powerless but determined to help. Suddenly, the van made a sharp turn into an abandoned warehouse. A trap was set. Inside, the fake cops revealed their real plan. They weren't just after Maggie. They wanted to extract sensitive information about a secret government operation she had uncovered. As tension mounted, Maggie refused to break under pressure, hiding the most critical data deep within her mind. Outside, the CIA team arrived in stealth mode, ready to storm the place. But the enemy was smarter than anyone expected. A sudden explosion rocked the warehouse, throwing everyone into chaos. Was this a setup to trap both Maggie and her rescuers? Who was behind this brutal attack? And could Clint's team save her before it was too late? The warehouse was engulfed in smoke and chaos as the explosion tore through the building, sending debris flying everywhere. Maggie, though shaken, quickly regained her composure. Her training kicked in. She knew every second counted. Outside, Clint's CIA team scrambled through the wreckage, coordinating via radios, trying to pinpoint Maggie's exact location amid the confusion. But the enemy was relentless. More armed imposters poured in, aiming to silence everyone before any secrets could leak. Clint's heart pounded as he directed the operation, knowing that if they failed, Maggie, and the truth, would be lost forever. Inside, Maggie moved silently through the dark corridors, avoiding patrols, clutching a small encrypted drive containing the evidence she'd risked her life to protect. Suddenly, footsteps echoed behind her. Someone was following. She spun around, ready for a fight, but instead came face to face with an unexpected figure. A former ally turned enemy, someone she once trusted deeply. "You're not going anywhere with that," he hissed. Maggie's eyes widened. Betrayal cut deeper than any bullet. How had he found her? Was this the trap that brought everything crashing down? Meanwhile, outside, the CIA team braced for a fierce firefight, knowing that every move could be their last. Clint's voice came over the radio, steady but urgent. "Get her out. No matter what." What would you do if your closest ally betrayed you in the worst moment? Could Maggie survive this deadly game of trust and deception? Maggie's heart raced as she stared at the man who once stood by her side, now her worst enemy. He smirked, stepping closer, confident she had nowhere to run. But Maggie wasn't just Clint Eastwood's wife. She was a seasoned CIA operative who had faced worse odds before. With lightning speed, she twisted, knocking him off balance and disappearing into a narrow hallway. Every step echoed in the dark, but she kept moving, knowing the CIA team was closing in. Outside, Clint's men fought fiercely, exchanging gunfire with the imposters trying to block their path. The tension was unbearable. One wrong move could cost them everything. Suddenly, the insider enemy sent a warning message to the kidnappers. She's escaping. Inside the warehouse, Maggie reached a hidden exit and slipped out into the night, breathing in the cold air but still not safe. Just as she thought, she was free. Headlights flooded the alleyway. A convoy of unmarked vehicles screeched to a halt. Her CIA team had arrived, guns blazing. Maggie ran towards them, but a shadow moved behind her. A sudden shot rang out. Clint's voice cracked over the radio. "Hold on, Maggie. We're coming." Would she make it out alive? Who fired the shot? And what dark secrets would finally be exposed when the dust settled? The shot echoed through the night and Maggie stumbled, clutching her side. Panic surged, but her training took over. She forced herself to stay on her feet. Clint's team stormed in, guns blazing, quickly taking control of the chaos. As they secured the area, Clint rushed to Maggie's side, eyes filled with fear and fury. The enemy was retreating, but the damage was done. Their secret operation had been exposed to the world, and Maggie's life hung by a thread. In the hospital, Clint sat beside her, gripping her hand, promising that nothing would stop him from uncovering who was behind this and bringing them to justice. Meanwhile, the CIA insider who betrayed Maggie was arrested but refused to talk, hinting at an even bigger conspiracy. Suddenly, a mysterious encrypted message appeared on Clint's phone, a warning or a clue. "They're watching. This is only the beginning." The battle wasn't over, it had just entered a deadlier phase. What do you think Clint should do next? Will Maggie survive to fight another day? Drop your thoughts below, because the real war behind this story has only just begun, and it's far from over. Days passed with Maggie in recovery, and Clint grew more determined than ever. The fake cops, the betrayal, the secret messages, all pointed to a hidden enemy far more powerful than anyone had imagined. With the world watching, Clint used his influence to expose the corrupt forces trying to control not just his family, but the entire system. His CIA team worked tirelessly, uncovering layers of deception that reached into government agencies and shadowy organizations. The public rallied behind Clint and Maggie's fight, demanding justice and transparency. In a final explosive revelation during a live broadcast, Clint unveiled the mastermind behind the attack, a high-ranking official who had used his power to silence anyone who threatened the truth. The arrest shook the nation, sending ripples through every institution. But even as justice was served, Clint knew this victory was just one battle in a much larger war. Maggie's strength and courage inspired millions, proving that even in the darkest times, truth and resilience can shine through. What would you do if your world was turned upside down like theirs? Share your thoughts, because stories like this remind us all. The fight for justice never ends.